So whether you are in object mode or edit mode, mirroring and cloning in Blender is now a breeze. So let's tap X to delete that default cube, press Shift A, and under Mesh, let's add a monkey shape, and then press S to scale to make it a little bigger, tap W a couple of times to give it some smoothing. Let's go ahead and press Tab to go into edit mode, and then I'm just going to make a selection of some faces over here, and press E to extrude, S to scale, E to extrude again, S to scale, and E to extrude, and do something like that. And yours doesn't have to look exactly like that. I just basically want an additional piece of geometry on this monkey head so we can tell when we are mirroring things more easily. So if I wanted to mirror this monkey head here, all I do is press T to bring up my tool shelf, and I can select which direction I want it to mirror in, whether it's X, Y, or Z, which mirrors like that. We can click those back and forth. We can do this with a multiple selection, so if I press D to duplicate this a few times and shift select all of these, we can mirror these like this, and like this. So I'm going to select these other two here and tap X to delete those, and then click back on my monkey head, press my full screen button so we have a little more screen real estate to work with. So we can mirror by pressing these buttons, but then if we want to clone and mirror, all we do is change this mirror option by clicking on it to clone. And now it's kind of like this gun has been cocked. It's, loaded and ready to go. So whichever direction we click on here will be the direction in which the object is cloned. So if I were to click X, then we get this cloned monkey head. If I press G to grab and middle mouse to constrain, I can bring it right out like that. And then I could shift select both of these. One of the really convenient things about this menu up here is that sometimes we don't always exactly know which direction we want something to go. So we can use these mirror options to first visually get an idea of how these objects will be mirrored. And so say I know that I want these monkey heads to be mirrored to where the bottom of them is like they're reflecting in water or something. So I can mess around until I figure out which one's going to do that. And then I go, okay, it's Z. So I can then cock the clone gun there and then click Z. And I've got these objects mirrored. And so this works really well. It's just a really quick, simple way to accomplish these mirroring tasks without a bunch of confusion and whatnot. So I'll shift select these three here, tap X to delete, and then I'll click back on this monkey head, press tab to go into edit mode. And so we can show you how this works basically the same, whether in edit mode or object mode. So if I press X to mirror, Y to do a Y mirror, Z to do a Z mirror, it basically does the same thing. Or I could cock this to clone and then press Z, G to grab. And basically I've got the same thing going on here. So I'll press X to delete all that, A to select it all again. And let's see here. Okay, yeah, that's the direction I want it to mirror and clone in. So now I'll cock the gun, press X, it clones, press G to grab, middle mouse to constrain. And maybe while I'm in edit mode, I'll just select these two faces by holding Shift and then Shift select these two faces and tap F to do a quick dirty bridge of that. Press tab to go back into object mode, and here's my one single ridiculous object. And then so if I were to press Z, I can see that it's going to mirror like that. Cock the clone gun and tap Z, and this has now mirrored in the way that I expected. Press G to grab that up there, shift select this other item here, and I could join these by either clicking the join button or by pressing J. Press tab to go into edit mode, and maybe shift select these two faces here, tap F to bridge those, shift select these two faces and shift select these two faces and tap F to do a dirty bridge of those, and tab to go back into object mode, and now we have created true madness. All thanks to the help of our handy dandy mirror and cloning menu here.